My name is Precious Bedell, and I am the director of Turning Points. I am also a project healthcare counselor at the University of Rochester. Turning Points is an informational center that offers information and resources to justice-involved individuals. It was inspired by a position I held at the Osborne Association when I lived in New York. It was the first center ever to address the needs of families who had folks that were incarcerated in the New York State prison system and all the jails down in New York. So we had a really complex kind of system. Turning Points is very small compared to that. They had a hotline where we recruited people and trained them to answer questions about people in jail, people in prison, like where are they, what are the directions there, what can they have, what are the sentencing statutes like. My husband just got arrested last night, I don't know where he is. So when I moved up here, I noticed and was affected by a lot of the conservatism up here in upstate New York, because I'm a former justice-involved woman, and employment and housing and continued mental health treatment were not as accessible as they are down in New York, and the attitudes were kind of different. We've moved a long way. Reentry is a movement now, and people are really, including the president, the Second Chance Act, but we still have a long way to go. We have a really, really long way to go, and we need really to look at why a country, the United States of America, with all the vast wealth we have here, has 2.1 million people incarcerated, either in jails or prisons or under supervision of parole or probation. And most of them are incarcerated for using drugs. And I don't think that people should be punished for using drugs, because drug addiction is a disease. And we don't punish people when they have cancer or other chronic health care issues. With the help of the SMART founder and coordinator, Mike Bleeg, and some advisory people on our board, Rochelle Coley, Brett Hopkins, Marianne was the catalyst for this. Marianne, she's the Reverend here, Marianne Brody, and Samantha and Diana Robinson, and all of us, we met and it was an idea, and it came to fruition here at St. Stephen's, and it's been open since November. And presently I'm juggling with different situations, and a project starts out one way and ends up another way. And when we opened the Family Resource Center in New York, they didn't have all the information on the website. So they have a lot of information on New York State Department of Correction website that we normally offered in our centers. So, so when people don't have a computer, they can come here and use our computer and access it, or I'll access it for them if they don't have computer knowledge. Some of the services that the center offers are information on transportation resources, which are very challenging because we don't have state money for it, and we're raising money to try to get more families to their loved ones. We also offer information on the website as far as locating a prison, also what people can bring to a prison, what they can't bring to a prison, what time the prison visiting hours are, whether their prisons have a child care center for the children to visit, things like that, all that kind of miscellaneous stuff. And also getting people transferred from way upstate closer home to their families. And sentencing issues. Some people want to know what is 8 1/3 to 25. You know, what is a 2 to 4 sentence? You know, when will my child be home? New York State stopped the transportation to facilities. And what I was challenged with is finding transportation for families to visit their loved ones. And also, the prison system, being the prison industrial complex that it is, people have to have all new clothes, they have to have hermetically sealed food. It's very expensive on a family to have someone in prison. And when someone is in prison in the family, the whole family is incarcerated. The entire family is affected by this incarceration, emotionally, physically, financially. It's a hardship. So I've been providing people with care packages when possible. A lot of people can't come to me, so I go to them. It's a lot of different issues. Sometimes I just sit and talk with people. They have family or sons or incarcerated for 25 to life, and they're just overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. So that type of support, I'll go and sit and talk with them and just try to offer support and offer some ideas about how to contact people, or if they don't contact people, if they're not in that place right now where they can't or they're unable or unwilling to visit, we still talk about it. You know, we still talk about other things. So, and some people are real proactive. They, you know, just need money for a care package. They buddy up with rides with other people here, and they get to prisons like, I took a family to a prison in, oh my goodness, Clinton, New York, Dannemora. Lovely young lady. 5.5 hours all the way up there and 5.5 hours back. And she hadn't seen her fiance for 9 months. And it was a long trip. But what was really moving about it was how happy they were to see each other, and how he just embraced her and he hugged me, and you know, and it was just a very moving and inspiring experience watching them together and watching them connect and knowing that, you know, someone cares enough about them to say, here's your family. You can't do it, but we can do it together. Well, one of my dreams when I started this is to expand what we have here to involve women who have justice involvement, being released from our county jail or from state prison. And I'm really concerned because women are the fastest growing segment in the prison population nationally, and they have some pretty severe pathways that led them to prison. And I think that one of the avenues and ways to empower people is to have them have a role in developing something that they have ownership in. A successful role model is a difficult sort of cliche, because success for some people doesn't start when they leave prison. It's the same as being in a treatment program. Some people have to fall down 2 or 3 times and get up and walk away that 4th time. So when they see people who are walking the journey, and I'm not going to say successfully, because it would be more successfully if society didn't stigmatize us so much, but it's really a difficult journey because, again, There's a lot of obstacles and barriers. And when a person can withstand those, that's success. When a person can be rejected from housing, jobs, and continue to walk the journey without succumbing to drug abuse, without succumbing to violence, and without, succumbing to the old ways that took them to prison, that's part of their success, their journey, and success to me means a destination, and it's not like that. It's a journey. It's not a destination, Another piece that we're trying to do with some former justice folks is for them to be visible so that people can be picked up by a person from when they leave jail, that they can get a ride with someone and someone can show them the way that they made it and support them and invite them into circles of support systems that they've already built so that a person doesn't feel so isolated when they come home, so that they will have a circle of friends who are positive for them. I'll leave people with is that people returning from incarceration, again, have a very challenging journey. And Turning Points is this place where we hope people can turn their lives around. And we want to work more with families of folks that are incarcerated. And it's a challenge because people have a lot of mistrust for systems, rightly so. And a lot of people don't even want people to know that their families are incarcerated. And the research of prisoners reflects that when people have contact with family members or friends or church relations and things like that while they're incarcerated, the recidivism rates are lower. So not only are we saving human lives, we are also saving a lot of money, because it costs $25,000 approximately to house one inmate in a correctional facility for a year. And if Turning Points could just have $5,000 of that kind of money, we could do a lot of things with families. We could, my goal is to fundraise to get a van, and have families taken up to prisons to visit their family members, because unfortunately a lot of people don't have a small sentence. Some of the people that I work with, their family members get out within a year or two, and some of them have long sentences. And we want to meet the needs of those families as well.